message då.
Ja, för fan. Jag ska bara höja dig här så att jag hör.
Yeah.
Okej, kör.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Real Growth and Real Conversation show. Hi Aida.
Hello.
We are so happy to welcome you all here today because we have something very exciting going on, and we both have created this beautiful space and place for you to come and listen and enjoy beautiful, creative, inspiring conversations, right? because the Real Growth and Real Conversation show is about transformation through creative and inspiring conversations for personal development, geeks and nerds. And if you are like one of us, we love conversations, we love talking about different subjects, deep subjects, and really, go on this journey to discover how we humans work, how we can perform better, live better, do better. And we just came together and decided that we want to share this space and place for you. What do you think, Aida?
Absolutely, everything you said. Plus, I have always been so fascinated by how certain people can create everything they ever dreamed of, and some people just can't get a break. That has always inspired and fascinated me. And so when I started getting to all of this with mind training and how to program our thoughts and everything started to happen for me too. And so of course I can't ever ignore it again. And so I learned all of these techniques myself and have been using them ever since. And that is so inspiring to me, and that's why I love all of these topics. So I am looking forward so much to these real conversations.
Yeah, and what I love about us is that we got this idea and we are sitting here today. We both love getting things done. And that's the most important thing. That's what moves the needle in long term, because many people spend so much time in planning, thinking, talking, and writing, everything besides doing the thing.
Absolutely. And this is why we decided to call it Real Conversations, because there are no scripts. There is no planning behind anything. We just start a camera and that will be a real conversation. So it's like we're just sitting on a Swedish fika.
Yes, exactly. That's beautiful because
it's not breaking into your house.
Someone is trying to break into my office. So yeah, when I was talking with others about our project, I told them that this is going to be like me and you meeting in real time and having a cup of tea or coffee and just talking. But the difference is that everyone gets to join the ride, gets to join the conversation with us. And I absolutely love this idea. And, I think we're going to be able to support so many people, and especially entrepreneurs, because it seems like that entrepreneurs are so much into personal development because they understand how important it is to take control over your mind, your choices, your decisions, your day-to-day actions, everything, in order to have and create the life you want.
Absolutely. Being an entrepreneur of any kind is a very tough and lonely job, and you don't realize it until you get there yourself. It's lonely at the top. And even if you're not at the top yet, it is very lonely because most people don't understand the endless hustle it takes. And every hour of every day is just, it's in your mind all the time. So you have to work on your personal development because you need to have a strong mind and you need to know why you are doing all of this, because it will take everything from you.
Mm-hmm. And you also have to have the right people around you. And I think that we both feel like two powerhouses meeting together, and it's like we are just moving the power, moving the force forward by offering this to our followers, our clients, our listeners. And more people join us, more people we are going to be able to serve, because it's not only about us reaching our goals. Through creating the lives we truly wanted and desire, we also support other people in doing the same thing, because everything in life is connected. Everything is connected.
Everything is connected. And if I can inspire someone to be the best self, and that they can create something they love, they will show other people in their family and friend circle that it is possible, and that will inspire someone else. It really spreads, and it's so powerful.
It's like having a domino effect, but in a very positive, inspiring, encouraging, and powerful way, right?
We absolutely need that.
So talking about notes, I actually have a tiny note for this call, because we have written this beautiful description of our show. So can I share that?
Hell yes.
Yes. So as I said in the beginning, welcome to the Real Growth, Real Conversations show. And this show is about transformation through creative and inspiring conversations for personal development, geeks and nerds. So this is a place where two almost Swedes are talking with the world about the world. Me and Ida, we have been in business together for more than a decade combined. And you know, we both together, we are like MMMs. We are completely nuts. I think we need to edit this in to, you know, have like a tiny photo of
the M&M back.
Yeah. Exactly. So Ida, would you like to just tell people more about like what your work, what is that you're doing?
Absolutely. I'm a mindset expert, and I work with communications. Communications is everything with how you are talking to yourself, how you're talking to other people. It's just about adapting your communication to get the best result that you can. And so that's why I set my tagline to Mind by Design, because it is exactly that, what I design in my mind, that is how my mind, that will be sort of a task for my mind, that whenever we give our mind a task or a problem, it will automatically try to solve it. So what we give it in form of thoughts, that is the problem of the day for the mind. So designing and really being able to program our thoughts is so powerful. And that is the single thing, of course, along with action, real action, that will get you what you want.
I love that. And it's, you know, it's so in alignment with neuroscience, even though you're not calling this a neuroscience, but it is.
It is.
And actually, by the way, I'm waiting for my neuroscience certification landing in my email. I'm like, yeah, so excited. Another goal reached, because that's exactly, you know, neuroscience is exactly what you're talking about, the mind and how everything is connected, and how we can support ourselves in solving different kind of issues and breaking patterns and seeing different realities, because we all have these glasses that we look through every single day.
Absolutely.
And we have these.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we really make ourselves or break ourselves with only our thoughts. It's so powerful.
Exactly. I love that. Thank you for sharing. So, yeah. And who am I then?
Exactly. Tell us.
So I am idea generator, visionary, born storyteller, and creative. And by the way, I'm also the winner of Cheerleader Award in 2021. So if there's anyone you want to have on your team, then it's me.
I do.
So I call myself the master of productivity and getting things done, because I'm serving humans and organizations worldwide today in this exactly the same process as you are describing, just in a different way. And for me, it doesn't really matter how we get where we want to be, as long as we actually get there, and as long as we do it in alignment with our values, because we cannot do it in alignment with our beliefs, because beliefs are so false, and we believe that our beliefs are the only truth that exists, but they are usually very wrong. So everyone needs to work on this. It's not only entrepreneurs or coaches or trainers who needs to work on this. Everyone can benefit from this work, even the bigger organizations and corporations that I have been working with, and you have been doing the same too, because we always focus on the person in front of us. That's the human being we want to impact. And when we impact people on a personal level, we create a better environment for everyone. So how do we create, this is what I do in my work. I ask, how do we create more positive, productive, and engaging environment so that we actually support ourselves in going where we want to be? Because the suffering comes actually in, the suffering is always when we are so far away from where we want to be. And there's so many people suffering today. And that's why I think that the work we're doing here and now, without the scripts, without anything, I think this is so important. So important.
Absolutely. And this is whenever I do any kind of work with the mindset and everything, I love to deep dive in. I am working a lot with psycho-cybernetics. It's where NLP originated from, neuro-linguistic programming, which is my base. And from that, I always love to deep dive a little bit more than we do in NLP usually. So that means I always want to dig deeper in the limiting beliefs, because this is where all our problems originate. It doesn't matter what kind of a childhood trauma you had or anything, because those things matter only in therapy. But we are working with a solution-oriented view of things. And so whenever I have someone, whenever I'm speaking at some event or anything, or have a single client in front of me, I want to know the limiting beliefs, because that will tell you how your future will be if you keep those limiting beliefs. And that is also why we have this suffering now, and especially now in these days when everything is chaos and we feed ourselves with all the fear headlines and everything. That just makes the limiting beliefs even stronger. And we can pull ourselves out of this with our own mind.
Yes, that's so true, because our external world usually confirms our inner limiting beliefs and fears. And how the heck do we break free from them? And that's where you and me come into the world, into the work, into the person's life, into the business, into the organization, to actually support people in breaking those patterns and creating a better ones. Because it's not always the easy thing to do, right? It's not. And especially when you work in one-on-one, because you and me, we both do speaking, we both do coaching in different ways. We both basically do creative consulting too, because we are not following only like one system, one framework for every client. It just doesn't work for us that way. And and when we actually take every person, every assignment, every work offering as a unique, we can actually help them to open their minds, to open their eyes, and then we see what's in there, and then we can support that's the best thing, instead of just like putting us a ready fit for everyone framework on someone else. Because when you do that, you stop listening to people, you stop seeing behind what's actually in front of you. You stop listening behind the words, what they're actually saying, because people will tell you everything, but not by words.
Absolutely. And that's why I find it so fascinating with just starting with the limiting beliefs. I find that a lot of people don't know they have any limiting beliefs. So how can you change something if you don't know of its existence? You can't. And how can you design new thoughts when you don't know your current thoughts? How can you design new feelings when you don't know what you're feeling, because you're just so numb? And that is the situation with most people. And what I also find very fascinating, and this goes for every client I have ever had, this one simple thing: when we get to the point where they tell me everything that doesn't work in their life, because that's why they're talking to me in the first place. I don't know what I want, or this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. And I go like, okay, how do you want it to be? And do you know what they answer? Complete silence.
I don't know.
Yes, I don't know. You would think that, of course, if you do know what you don't want, of course you would know what you do want. But that's not the case at all, because, and here's why thoughts are so important, because you are living in your limiting beliefs, and you make an idea a limiting belief. Like, say you tried something once, it didn't work, and then now it's a belief that you can never do this, because you tried once, it failed miserably, and now you're here. And that becomes a belief from where you operate the rest of your life. You will never go back there because you tried and you think that it doesn't work. And so since you're so focused on what what doesn't work and what you don't want, you no longer know what you do want, because that's not how you spend your days and your mind power. You don't think about those things. And what we focus on is what we will live. That is the way. What we see in our head day by day, that is just what you're going to experience all the time. Someone said that your day is a mini version of your whole life. Once I read that absolutely terrified me. I gotta tell you, that terrified me, because I have had so many days I just spent on shit. And if one day is a mini version of my life, I am gonna give it all.
Exactly. Amen to that. Because you don't have
Hallelujah.
time for exactly. And when you have that kind of mindset, it just immediately shifts your day, your way of how you see things, how you experience things, how you operate on a daily basis. But many people never even dare to go there.
Yeah.
So hopefully we will inspire with our real conversations and real growth. Hopefully, I don't want to say hopefully. I don't like to say wishing and hoping. Wishing and hoping never gets exactly. I do believe that our conversations will inspire people to move forward, even if it's just a tiny, one brave tiny step at a time.
And this, oh, sorry, I was just going to say that I know that what you do absolutely works, because we know each other from far back. And
let's talk about that. Talk about that.
I have seen your first steps. I remember you taking your first steps in all of this, finding your ground, finding your vibe, finding where, and you have done things that you have let go of. I have done things that I let go of. And then in the beginning, you feel like such a failure, because at least I did, because I was like, okay, now I'm all over the place. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just doing things. And then I was like that. I was asking myself, so what do I really want? And I didn't know. Just like I didn't know. I just wanted this kind of fluffy, I had this kind of fluffy idea of what kind of things I wanted to do in a day, but it wasn't anything controlled. And that reminded me so much, because we have done the same journey. We have just gone through the first steps together, and I remember you taking those first steps and then changing it to something else, and then changing it again. And that was also in my hardest times. It was so inspiring, and I was like, look, she's doing something else now. Good for her. This is amazing. And she's doing it so well. And this is way better than the other thing she did. And so now, whatever you have been doing those past few years, it has really been working, because you have done it on yourself first and then on your clients. So I can see it working.
Oh, thank you. I'm receiving everything you said. Thank you. And, I want everyone to know that we have been seeing each other online only from day one. I don't know how we get together. I have no idea how we met, how we ended up where we are today, basically, because
I think raw food was the thing that got us together. We both was in the raw food business for a while.
Yes, but it was so long time ago, because I moved to Sweden like 10 years ago, and I started my business in 2013 or 14. And you are you are the first person I basically connected with, but we have never spoken with each other before, except for this tiny thing. And we had, like, I don't know, 20-minute call or 40-minute call, 30-minute, I don't even remember. So we have been following each other for so long time, and seeing each other grow and taking those tiny steps every single day. And, there's the saying, clarity comes from action. And that's so true for us. It was so scary, oh my God, Ida, it was so scary to close my first business, even though I wasn't earning money. I got in debt for the business. And I was basically paying other people to eat my food. And I had 3 to 4 side jobs at the same time.
Yeah.
I was horrified to let that go.
I know the exact feeling, because I had the exact same experience with my absolutely first business, and it felt like such a failure, because it was in the same business. It was with raw food and everything, and I was basically living on people's recommendations. I did all those events where people said, yeah, I'll post this on social media, and you will get likes and attention. Those likes and attention didn't pay my bills. So exposure, I did all the exposure fails that could ever be done. And so now that I'm seeing young business owners and new business owners going into this, and now social media, basically it's exposure everywhere, and all these influencers are everywhere trying to do everything for exposure, try to get things for exposure. And I can say that I was the prototype for exposure. My business failed because I did things for exposure, and I am so happy I'm over that now. And just like you said, it was so scary putting it down, because it felt like I had a little dog that I was about to put down, even though that business never gave me anything really, but experience, of course. And so remembering that is kind of happy, because I learned so much. But closing it, I remember it felt like maybe I just can't do this. Maybe it won't happen again. If I close this, maybe it won't be a new one, because I clearly suck.
Oh my God, the inner negative talk. you know, the stories we tell ourselves because of something, because something didn't go the way we planned it to go, and how we build on that. It's you know, so many people stop chasing their dreams. They never finished their projects because of that. And I think why we are successful is because we have found the balance between what is that we want to do, how we do it, and despite all the struggle, because it is hard, you know, I say to myself every single day, like, having my own business is both the best and the worst thing I have ever done to myself.
Yes.
And we are still here today because showing up is the hardest part. Showing up when no one likes your photo, showing up when no one replies your email, showing up when no one jumps on your offering. And I have sold courses since 2014. I remember I lived in northern part of Sweden in Gällivare, which is like above the North Pole. It's like that's a mine city. How do you call it? I don't even know in English. And it's like everything is about the industry and eating meat, and you know. And then there was me, this person who wanted to make a bigger change. I wanted to inspire people. I wanted to give something. I wanted to offer this healthy food, a better way of living, feeling, doing things. And it was so hard. It was so freaking hard. It was so hard.
Yeah.
And still, we are here today.
Yeah, but that's also the thing. When I got into all of these methods of mind training and everything, I realized very fast that communication has a lot to do with communicating on the recipient's level. So when I'm talking to a business owner and when I'm talking to a student, that's a whole different communication. And I was communicating the same everywhere all the time. And I didn't know my audience. Basically, my audience was people hiring me for a fun after work. Look, talk about that fun thing. It's so cool. And then I was do those cute little raw food balls. It's so awesome. And then I was doing these events, gave me nothing. I worked my ass off, and then I was just no, no, because people didn't want a lifestyle change. They just wanted entertainment at that time, at least. And so I learned that you have to communicate on the other person's level. You have to start there and then take them to where they need to go.
But also, you know, I agree with you're saying, and you know, talking with the right people, because not everyone is willing to make the change. And you know what helped me so much was to release both my business or projects and people that are not working, but also stop trying to support everyone, especially people who do not really want to change because it's so comfortable. It's, you know, why should I? And you know, for me it was a hard lesson because I grew up in Latvia in an orphanage. I went through lots of like abuse and violence and hunger. It's just the winter here. And it's storm. That's the sound.
I will call the police if something happens to you.
Do that. So yeah, so for me it was like a huge drive because I wanted to have something better, something different. And for me the obstacle was living in a country that was, you know, I don't even want to go there. Not today. We can go there another time.
Sure,
you
absolutely.
know, when I moved to Sweden, it was like, oh my God, everything is possible here. Everything is possible here. It's like living standard is so different and so much better in so many ways that, you know, how can you have any kind of excuses to not to be, do, have, feel, da 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 da? And for me, it was like I couldn't understand, and many people saw me as like this person who were kicking someone ass and being hard with the truth in the face and telling, you know, being raw and not being very.
We just want to be comfortable.
Exactly. You know, but I know I never serve if I'm just sitting here and, like, you know, confirming your beliefs, your fears. Yes, you have all the rights to this and that. And no, that's not, it's like, why? And why would you like to waste your money on that kind of work?
No.
It's like, it doesn't make sense. So yeah, like, stop trying to support people who do not really want to have that support.
Exactly. It was more kind of, I was trying to make a change to the people I chose, because I see that you need change, so I will tell you what to do. I mean, that's not how this works. People need to choose to change first. And because they are the ones doing the job, I will only guide them through the journey, and I will be with them on the way, helping them with the best way to get there. But they need to do the work. I can't change anyone. And so I believe also that it's my experience that people who had a very rough time during their childhood or early adulthood, they tend to usually do anything that it takes to get away from there and to have a comfortable, good life. So many successful people have had a hard life, and that is their motivator, their engine, and their drive, that I will never live like this again. It will never happen again. And so they work and they do whatever it takes to never get there again. And to have the best life.
But it's also, you know, you have to have that, at least a seed of something, you know, that you want to have something different.
Yeah.
It's like having tändsticka in Swedish. What's the name in English?
A match?
Match, yeah. At least a match, exactly. So that you can build from there, so that you can awaken the fire and have the drive and the power and the energy to move the mountain, or, you know, create whatever it is that you want to create. But if you don't even have the seed within you, it's like because there's nothing to nurture.
No, and that happens when you're too comfortable. If you're comfortable where you are, then why would you do the hard work it takes to get somewhere else when you don't know how that's going to turn out?
I love that. Exactly.
Why the hell would I make myself uncomfortable? Because I don't know what's on the other side, but here I know what I get. And even if it's kind of good, kind of not, I still know what to expect here. But there I don't know. And why would I? Just why? So why? Good question.
In psychology, there's this research done on dogs, a very horrifying research, where the dogs are put in cages with you know, tiny carpets in there that were connected to electricity. So they put the dogs in there, they turn on like they gave this shocks to the dogs time to time. And from the beginning, the dogs, they tried to escape. But then after a while, after receiving these shots, they just laid there, you know, they didn't even move. And the next thing they did was they even opened the cage, they opened the door and kept giving the shots, and still those dogs were still laying there.
Yeah,
they didn't move. And that's called learned helplessness.
Absolutely. It's when you've been conditioned to do something for a long time, then again, it's fairly comfortable where you are. You don't know if it gets worse if you move. So that's living from fear, from a limiting belief. You're living from.
Oh my God, I think we have so many amazing topics we should cover in our deep conversations, and because we have talked about so many things, about our failures, what we did today. We definitely need to talk about even such a thing as ideal and not ideal client.
Oh,
that
I will need our document for.
I think
experiences you gain from 10 years with clients is astonishing.
Yeah, it is indeed. So we have so many interesting topics. We
I am looking forward to it all.
Awesome. So what do you think, Aida? Should we end this tiny welcome video?
Introduction. Yes, I believe this
40
is
minutes.
Great.
Sorry, I was interrupting you. What did you say?
No, sorry. I think it's a perfect place to take a break here, and because we have a lot to cover, we will never stop talking if we don't put a stop to it now. So absolutely, it's a lot of information to take in. So whoever is listening to this and wants to get inspired, their head are exploding right now. Anyway. Yeah,
totally. And everyone who's listening, we would love to hear your ideas. What topics would you love us to talk on?
Please comment.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if there is anything you would like to share, if you have any aha moment or something, please share it with us. We would love to see that. We would love to read that, and we are going to answer whatever you are sharing, so that you see that we are actually here together and we are having this conversation with you. And also, if there is anything you have been afraid of to let go, share that with us too, because we know, Aida and me, we know how challenging that is and how painful that can be. So we want to cheer you on. So thank you so much for today. Thank you for watching.
We will share our information so you can subscribe and follow and everything. So, and know where you find us on social media. And thank you so much for being here. I am really looking forward to all of these episodes.
Me too. Awesome. Thank you so much, Aida. See you soon again.
Bye.